Okay, good afternoon. My name is Chris Parker, and welcome to the session on collaboration here at the South Coast Summit. So I am a product manager at Sharp Electronics. I've been a European product manager for 6 years at Sharp, in collaboration and interactive, and making sure people work together using good technology. So what can we talk about with collaboration today is that when it comes to working together, particularly in the last 18 months, we've all had to learn new ways of working. And this is the hybrid working style. We have people at home, people in the office, people at the airport, people at the hotel, different locations and different times. So hybrid working has become a way of life for many of us. And there has been big changes because of COVID, because of the pandemic, and also because of how technology is giving us more choices and different ways of doing things. And here at Sharp, we took a survey a few months ago. It's important to keep in touch with office workers and your colleagues, find out how they feel about work and their approaches, their attitudes. So we had a survey done of 6,000 people around Europe. So this isn't just UK feedback. This is also from France, from Germany, from Spain. And if we look here, I've just taken three key statistics from the survey sample. And it says, 40% of 38 to 45-year-olds think their employers should offer flexible hours. So, there's a desire for flexible hours. Flexible hours doesn't mean working less. It just means, if you're doing your 40-hour week, or I'm sure Martin does his 60-hour week, you don't do it just 9 to 5, but you have a chance to do it, in different areas, times of the day. So flexibility is important. What about this idea of always working from home? Again, if we looked at the statistics here, of the 21 to 30-year-olds, the youngsters, the millennials, they still value the idea of meeting people and interacting directly, face-to-face in the office. So, this idea that everybody wants to work from home isn't true either. And maybe the last statistic is where us as Sharp and, Curatrix, our partner, we have an opportunity here, and that is, 40% of office workers find remote working technology overwhelming. There's difficulties with plugging in, getting your technology working, and making sure that cameras are doing the things and the microphones. So, there's a lot of things going on in the workplace, and I'm sure this is something you all knew anyway. We're all different, we're all individuals, we all have different approaches and preferences. So how can we meet that diversity and variety? And the fact is, we know that there are many things driving a continued approach to hybrid and flexible working. So, we can talk about the COVID situation, which is clearly getting better, but there's still some impact. We also know with travel and commuting, environmental, CO2, all the protests, not everybody likes to get stuck on the M25. There must be other ways of getting your work done without exposing yourself to the horror of traffic jams, travel and commuting. Flexible working patterns, work-life balance, how can that be managed better? And in and amongst all these requirements and thoughts, we still want to be effective and productive and do a good job. So, how do we balance and manage the juggling? And this is where we have a slide about Teams. So, Microsoft Teams has been in the market a couple of years. And, you can almost say that Microsoft were happy and could have even encouraged the idea of lockdown, stay at home, and all the pandemic stuff. They've had a good 18 months and 2 years with their Teams adoption. So if you look at the numbers, before COVID, there were 32 million daily active users on Teams, which is a good result. But October 2020, So a year ago now, that had jumped up fourfold to 115 million users. This was after the first, maybe entering the second lockdown. And in spring this year, there were 145 million users, and of the summer, a massive 250 million users of Teams. So a fantastic, massive adoption of Teams, and I'm pretty sure lockdown, COVID, and all the rest was a massive driver of that result. So, Microsoft aren't complaining, and it's a good job. Microsoft Teams is a good collaboration tool. However, when it comes to Teams, it's very much typically me and my laptop. Maybe it's a remote location, working from home, but I've got my laptop, I plug it in, and I don't have to worry too much about the menuing, about how to operate it. Camera's built into the laptop anyway, and I'm pretty comfortable. There's no fear, no stress. What about Roomscale Teams? So this is where Teams comes into its own in a larger meeting room environment. So how can I maintain all that familiarity, all that power, all that stress-free collaboration within a larger room? So maybe you've got 5 or 6 people in a room, and you've got people dialing in too. A totally situation compared with sitting at home in your office, up in your spare bedroom with your laptop. So Roomscale Teams is all about making sure that you get the benefits of Teams, but in the larger room situation. And if you can get Teams operating in the same way, so you know the menuing, you don't have that fear, you don't have to have that training, people can get a Roomscale Teams session working straight away. So remember Roomscale Team, and that has been enabled and particularly promoted with the Windows collaboration display from Sharp. So just around the corner here on the Curatrix stand, we have a Windows collaboration display, and this is what we have with a 70-inch interactive display with built-in cameras, built-in AV, microphone and audio. With your own laptop, you just plug it in and the cameras become associated with the large screen. It covers the whole room, so your whole room now becomes part of the hybrid session, and you can control through this BYOD or BYOM, bring your own meeting, a whole hybrid meeting with all the power of Teams. But no need for extra training. It's not as though there's a big box in the corner of the room which is operating a large VC collaboration technology, and where you don't know what buttons to press, you don't know how to switch it on, you don't even know how to get your presentations onto the system because it's USB-C and you've got only USB. You don't have all this HDMI stuff. You really just have your laptop now operating in the larger room, Roomscale Teams, very powerful. What's particularly nice with Windows Collaboration Display is the USB-C connector. So with a single connector, you get all the video, you get all your data, you get all your internet. If it's a touch screen, you get your touch signals, and then you also even get power for your laptop. So Windows Collaboration Display really does enable Roomscale Teams with your laptop, takes away the fear, and really means you can get a straightforward session going. So take a look on the Curatrix stand afterwards. We've got one set up for you to look at. Maybe just a couple more minutes on a development which we call Synapse. So this is a new solution coming through from Sharp called Synapse. And this is on the basis that if you go into maybe any company, not any company, but SMBs in particular, you might have quite a variety of different platforms and different technologies. So clearly this is a bit of a Microsoft event, and you might say 100% rollout of Teams everywhere. Not quite the truth. There are other players in the field. There's Google, there's GoToMeeting, WebEx, all sorts of other platforms and other ways in which you can share and collaborate. And the idea with our Synapse solution is to put on an overlay, to put on a skin, which is consistent for any, once you've learned it. With this skin, it's identical if it's a Google system, if it's a Microsoft system, if it's a WebEx system, if it's GoToMeeting. It's the same if you're using OneDrive or some other cloud service. And here, when you come into a situation with multiple platforms and multiple technologies, it's very difficult to get maybe the connectivity. Maybe you get problems with setting up, and people start getting a bit fearful. Synapse gives you a consistent user experience so that wherever you are, with Synapse installed on your laptop or on your mobile phone, you will know that you can work with any platform, any cloud service, any video conferencing platform. So we're making technology simple, removing the fear, but in the end, when it comes to collaboration and meetings, it should always be about productivity and having effective meetings. So the worst thing is to have meetings where you've got 5 or 6 people not doing very much because the technology is not working, connectivity hasn't happened, or people keep dialing in or dropping out. So, productive meetings is the whole point. Final slide here on the Synapse is that we want to make it as simple as possible. I spoke about the simplified or standardized user experience, and there are 2 ways in which you can approach collaboration and meetings. One is you just walk in with your mobile phone, and particularly when it comes to shared equipment, if you can avoid touching the buttons and the touch screens and other things that other people have been using, you'll be happier. And this is where Synapse really gives you a powerful solution with your mobile phone. So all the controls, all the remote control and setting up and operation of the AV equipment can be done through the Synapse app on your mobile phone. And that works then seamlessly with, from Sharp, our Windows collaboration display to get a really good hybrid meeting going on where you have people in the room, you have people sharing data, and also the colleagues dialing in. They see all the information and they get access to all the cameras. So, with Curatrix, Sharp is coming to the market with a whole set of good solutions. We want to make people productive. We know it's not always straightforward and simple with technology, and we try to make it as simple as possible. And if you do have a chance, pop around the corner. We've got a good setup there. We'll show you Windows collaboration display. I'm happy to talk to you. Thank you very much.